to episode 48 of Ryan and Rob in Wrexham, where today we start a new Premier League season, and this is going to be the season we're going to win the league, right? Well, it looks pretty promising in terms of where we are in the season preview. We're now predicted to finish second, so I think we have a good chance. And actually, if you look at the Dream 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the players are there, including the top two in the entire league play for us. That's also not including the likes of Yervolino. So we have very good options, very, very good options. And let's have a quick look. We're currently sitting in 15th. We've not played yet. It looks like United have lost their first game 2-1 to Tottenham, to be fair. Chelsea lost 3-0 to Arsenal. So quite a lot of early first game big matches, because we actually play Liverpool first and then Tottenham in 2 weeks' time. So a tough start to the season. If we can get a good win here, though, that will set us really nicely on our way. Let's have a quick look at the signings that we've made then, because there have been a few. So we first signed Gianni Finizio for a fee of just 165,000 because Pescara got relegated, so that's why we got him. I'm not entirely convinced he's great long term, but he was very cheap and 2-star and with 4.5-star potential. I think we'll just be selling him at some point anyway for a bit of money, but for now it's an okay backup, I guess. Another cheap signing was Andres Munoz from Cartagena. They were in La Liga 2, and he managed to score 22 goals in 39 games. So looks like a promising one for the future. Could perhaps do a better finishing and technique. I don't like mercenary as his personality, but I guess we're just going to have to cope. Anyway, so that's one of our signings. He's now gone out on loan. If we then continue on to the other signings, we got Chris Mepham on a free from Hertha Berlin, 32 years old. So he's not going to be around for a long time, but I think he's a good replacement for Karatsa, and we basically made £30 million by going for him over Karatsa in the end, or selling Karatsa for him. And he's considered an elite centre back. Whether he's still that, I don't know, but he seems to be good on Football Manager a lot, and has some good enough stats there. So he will be our backup, one of our backups. Then we signed Kasper Ure from Esbjerg FB in Denmark. I think he only just went to them, actually. Yeah, he went on a free from OB in Denmark. One for the future, I think. He's 2-star current ability, 5-star potential, and 18 years old. Got some good stats in certain places. Has a bit of work to do on some others. He didn't get a work permit when he came in, so there needs to be a bit of... we've loaned him out to Ajax, where hopefully he will get plenty of game time. I don't know if... Have they played yet? They played one game, so hopefully he does start to get some game time. I think he was only a squad player there, so I hope that he does get time. It's not going to be easy. Pascal Moreno, he's coming from Monaco. A very unexpected deal, to be honest. I wasn't even thinking of signing him, but Monaco out of nowhere offered us for Lukacs. They offered him Moreno, and I thought, even though it would be nice to get money for Lukacs, I'll actually take Moreno, given that Lukacs was 2.5-star with potential to be 3-star and wasn't really good enough. And Moreno is 2.5-star with potential to be 5-star and 4.5 gold stars. So he is going to be a world-class fullback at some point, I reckon. He might need to improve a bit more early on to get to that full potential. But I think the fact that he has those gold stars does suggest that even if he is a bit older, he should be able to reach that. But anyway, yeah, he's effectively a free signing, and on lower almost 48k lower wages than Lukacs is. So I don't quite know why Monaco did that deal, because maybe they wanted a bit more versatility at fullback, but I was delighted when I got that offer. biggest sale of the window is Lewis Alsop. He went to Tottenham for £47 million, about 33 up front. So a good profit on him. He's been a very good player for us in the past, but he wasn't quite the elite level centre back that we've replaced him with. So I think that was a good sale to make, even though he obviously is homegrown as well. If we then have a look at our biggest signing in the window, actually no, we did make a couple more sales actually to show you. So Leighton Hope went to Krasnodar for £19 million. Don't know quite how he got that much money on him. They offered 9.5 million up front and then 9.5 million in instalments. I was very happy for him to go for that price. Aaron Weir for £7.5 million to Zenit. So Russian clubs seem to like our youth players. We then sold Alex Lorenzo to Stuttgart for 24 million in total. Pretty good deal for us, I think. And he wasn't going to be, he was never going to be a leading Premier League player. I think he was capable of becoming a good one, but I wasn't too fussed. And then Ethan Galbraith, 14 million to Dynamo Kiev. Very good signing for us in the grand scheme of things. Joined us when we were in the Championship. Had an unbelievable second season in the Championship from an assist perspective. And then, just was a dependable player to have over the course of our Premier League seasons. And I think particularly that 28-29 season where he got 3 goals and 4 assists in 22 games. Not bad for a player playing as a box-to-box midfielder. I think that is all the sales done now. But the big signing of the window is Helder Murillo from Barcelona. 5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He looks really, really good. Perhaps the only concern is the heading. He's actually going to be playing as a ball-playing defender on defence. So the heading, perhaps, and the aggression. Unfortunately, neither of our centre-backs are particularly aggressive, but I think that will be fine. And he's fairly strong on his left foot, very strong on his right. And I think he's just going to be a great signing. He looks like those physicals are unbelievable, apart from maybe strength, which could be better, but I think everything else makes up for it. He's just very intelligent and very fast, as well as having good defensive stats as well. So I'm looking forward to having this guy. I think he's a really good player. What's that negative? Right, his little presence, but we'll sort that out. He's currently got a poor relationship with me, but I'm sure that won't be the case. And then if we have a look at his history, he's played a lot of games, perhaps not as many as he could have for Barcelona, but it looks like he's been generally dependable with the ratings. So I'm looking forward to having this guy in our first team squad, and it's nice to have a 5-star player. We've only ever had Simoyes, I think, as our 5-star player, and he's now 4-star. Of course, such a big outlay at centre-back does make it difficult to sign a winger. £18.3 million with 28k left in the wage budget, so it's going to be difficult to sign a right winger. But I think Javier Olmos could be a good option. There is interest from Milan, and his price is around 71 to 79 million, so potentially we could sign a replacement for him if he does go. But I'm not sure that there's really much point selling him. I don't know. He could still improve a lot. So I think we've got a good guy, a good player here. Very nice agility, which has really improved him recently. And those aren't the greatest stats there. But I think now that he's fully settled and considered the first 11 right winger, he will do well. Obviously, we have Gary Weaver as an option. I'm not convinced he's ever going to be quite that level. I don't know what he's down as. Yeah, could still improve a lot at least. But the one I'm excited for is Dylan Windsor, who has been out on loan a lot. I don't know why it's showing as him being on loan at our own club back then, but he went to Plymouth in League One, got 3 goals in 14 games, 4 goals and 3 assists in 44 games for Hull in the Championship, and then last season he really did turn it on, 9 goals, 7 assists in 25 games. And he just looks like a really good option. He's still 19 years old, he's from our youth academy, and first touch is brilliant. Vision off the ball, flair decisions, agility. Looks like he's gonna be really. He's a nice boy. He's a nice boy. He doesn't have the dog in him too much, but he is a nice boy. So he is going to play potentially as our backup right winger. If I can get some money and make another signing on the wing, then great. But if you have a look at my shortlist for right wingers, there's not a whole lot that are cheap, and the ones that are Salah, who's 38, and Bernardo Silva, who's 36, and even he's not for sale. So our other option is Assis. He's 27, and actually, I think at this point, let's remove him. 2.5 star, not going to do much for us. So they're not cheap, these guys. Perhaps the cheapest, if I go for overall, is Neil Hoskins. Same price as Vinicius Junior, but obviously a lot lower on the wages. So this guy could be an option. The guy I really want is Mark Hitchin, who is 4-star, but look at some of these stats. Crossing, very fast, good technique, decent dribbling, finishing first touch, and he's also homegrown in the nation. Historically, he was really good last season. 28 goal contributions in 33 games, so he is a fun player. And actually, he came from League One, so it does show that there are some players who can do a really good job having come from lower down the leagues, and that's pretty mad business from Tottenham. 450k, 2 loans in the Championship. One season we got 8 goal contributions in 30 games, and suddenly sell him for 84 million. But if we wanted to sign him now, it would take a lot of money. So hopefully next year, or he randomly hands in a transfer request and they do it for not too ridiculous, but I don't think it's going to happen. So let's head straight into this game against Liverpool. Sure, I managed to miss out a transfer that we made. So we also signed Brian Martinez from Monterrey in Mexico for 7.75 million. There was also interest from either Arsenal or United. I think it might have been United. I can't quite remember. But he is another option, probably for the wing, but could also play up front, and actually looks very nice in terms of his pace and things. Very, very nice dribbling, good finishing, first touch. Got lots of good things going for him. But he's certainly someone that will play at various points throughout the season. So this very tough start to the season sees us go with a pretty strong squad. Perhaps only Manole missing out from the group that would usually be playing. That's just because he got an injury in pre-season, and so we'll miss this game, but should be back, I believe, for the next one. So Gabriel Marcos starting on the right hand side. I wanted a bit of familiarity with the system rather than chucking Pascal Moreno straight in, but it's a really strong squad that we have. Perhaps the weak areas are the goalkeeper, which really isn't a weak area because he got second in Golden Glove last season and should be very reliable in the past. The right back position, but won't be when Manole is playing. And then after that, it's only really Camavinga and Olmos that aren't 4-star. So, if Camavinga and Olmos are your worst players in your usual starting 11, you're doing something right. So, I can't remember what the result was in our game against Liverpool last time, but I suppose it did prevent us from winning the league, because if we got a draw in that, we would have won, and we wouldn't actually be here for this game probably. But here we go at the start of the season. Very, very tough game. I don't think I've ever played Liverpool in the first game of the season, or even any. I don't know how often I've played a big team in the first game of the season. Simoes capitalising on the mistake there, finds Yervolino, and that's a brilliant start from the boys. Really, really nice combo from the 2 stars of the forward line. I know usually it's scoring goals that is my problem, because we're usually really good defensively regardless. But I'm hoping that just almost being more settled in, being a bit better than he has been in the past, having Hillier as an option, and hopefully Dylan Windsor will come in and do some bits for us. But we know Simoes and Yervolino are reasonably reliable. They're both high quality players. Can go a bit hot and cold in the middle of the part of the season, but we have faith in them, and we should have enough firepower in our team. I think also just the extra pace from our centre backs will help with making sure that we, can rely on them a bit more to cover, and therefore we can just push forward and not be afraid of really going for it. A couple of players are starting to tire, Warburton and Samoyes, but I reckon they'll be fine in the grand scheme of things. Stanijevic finds Olmos. Cuts it back to Stanijevic again. And Samoyes with a brilliant header, and I'm pretty sure he's onside there. I think he's got to be onside, right? I don't like that it's zoomed on the referee rather than showing the actual players, but yes, it is awarded. That was a brilliant, brilliant cross. Stanijevic exchanged passes with Olmos, got it back, and then sent in an absolutely stunning cross for Samoyes. And given his height, he's always going to do good stuff. Apologies for the clapping, I've just discovered a mosquito flying about, and I don't particularly fancy getting bitten tonight, so Alexander-Arnold gives it away. Samoyes finds Iovelino in behind, and off the post. It's unlucky. And let's get a few substitutions on. So we'll get Samoyes off for... I think we might give Dylan Windsor his first appearance. And Iovelino can come off. We'll get Brian Martinez a debut. And Warburton can come off for Beltran. And Olmos has just got his first goal of the season. A 25-yard, what am I talking about? 25-yard goal, not 25-year-old. That was nice play, really. Iovelino from the goal kick finds Stanijevic, and Alisson a bit suspect there. I think he left too much space in the goal for us, but I'll take it. And this has been an absolutely stunning performance from us. Obviously, early on in the season we tend to do quite well, and then it tends to be that middle period. But if we can get good results against big six teams early on, I think we're in a really favourable position. And Liverpool are the only team above us in the season preview. So, I think this is a good sign that it could be our year, that we're so dominant against this Liverpool team. And Alisson taking sweeper keeper to a whole new level. Bazunu whacks it out. Windsor's beaten to the ball. Moriba. Great ball there into Jones, and they do get one back through Curtis Jones. It was a phenomenal pass from Mategi. But it still looks pretty good, Bazunu will be a bit disappointed that he's conceded from the only shot on target, but can't give him too much grief for it. And that is a very, very convincing 3-1 win from the boys, and some good performances on day one from a lot of the players, including Murillo. So that is about as good a start as we could have hoped for. Well, that great start does see us sitting in third place, and it's a pretty good start to the season. We've got a reasonably decent schedule for the first couple of months now that we've got that out of the way. Obviously, Tottenham, last season's Premier League winners, who are actually predicted to finish 8th this season still. We're playing them away soon, so that's going to be a tough one. And then United not till late October, so a fair bit of time to get settled in the season. And it's really that couple of games could be problematic. But I think now we're at the stage of the save where there's only a few games a season that are actually worrying in terms of the quality of the opposition. It's usually smaller games that you're a bit complacent, that you end up dropping points. But I think we've got enough firepower in the squad to really help us out and just give us a bit more on that right wing with the likes of Brian Martinez coming in along with Dylan Windsor. I think Maybe it's worth considering getting rid of Weaver, because he's not really going to play, is he? He's not very versatile, aside from being able to play striker, and he's not a good striker. It's a shame, because he has a lot of potential. But, we could get decent money for him. I'm not really sure where I'd reinvest it, to be honest. There's not many goalkeepers that I can find that are actually an improvement on Bazunu. There just don't seem to be very many good ones in this save. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It may be I make some more sales and maybe some more signings as a result, but I don't think that will happen anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day.